Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a footer on your website using Elementor and Elementor Pro. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So when you're in your WP admin dashboard, what you're going to do is head over, first of all, make sure in your plugins that you have Elementor and Elementor Pro installed. Now, next up, you want to go to templates and then save templates. And over here, what you want to do is head over and click on add new template. Once you've done that, you'll be greeted with a pop-up. Now here, what you want to do is head over and choose a template type. Head over to this drop down and then select the footer right over here under the error 404. Right after that, you want to name your footer. So I'll head over with main footer. Once that is done, create a template and then we'll head over to our Elementor editor. Now, the first thing that you'll be greeted with is this pop-up where Elementor suggests you to use one of the pre-made templates that are already available in the Elementor kit or that comes with Elementor and Elementor Pro once you purchase the license. For the matter of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create it from scratch and then I'll show you how to import if you want to in the future. So this is coming up a little later. For now, I'll head over and exit that pop-up and then we'll begin to edit. What you want to do is scroll to the bottom and here you'll see what we usually see with Elementor is this dotted box. And what you want to do is drag and drop, whether it's your container or grid container, if you're using grid, and just drag and drop it over here. And what I usually do is I divide it by 4 or 5 sections. It depends on your own preferences, but just bear that in mind that usually it's 3 to 4 or even 5 sections per site. Depends on your own needs. The first section would be the logo and your social media or a little excerpt or a little information about your website, and then the pages, and then the posts, and then the newsletter or some way to contact you if you wish to. So let's do that right now. First of all, make sure that my footer has a different background color. So I'll select the container, then I go to style, and then I head over to my background normal, and then I go to classic, and then I head over and just change the background color to black. I'll head over with the basic colors just for the simplicity of it, because usually the more simple it is, the better, as I think. And then I'll head over to my layout, and inside the content width, I'll keep it as boxed. Under the width, I'll define it as 1400. And over here, I want to drag and drop some more containers. So drag and drop them. And then I can hit just duplicate if it's even easier for you. And then duplicate, duplicate, and duplicate. What I want to do is head over to the container and then just change the direction to row. That way we have 4 of them in a line. Now here, you can totally space them out however you want to. I usually keep them as spaced evenly because then it distributes the space evenly as the name suggests. And over here, I want to drag and drop under my elements, go to image or site logo for that matter, but I'll head over with an image. And then I drag and drop it over here. And then I change first of all to image resolution to full. And then I change the image to my website logo. For now, this is a demo logo. So I'll head over to my styles when I'm editing the image over here. And I'll first of all set up the max width. Usually you would want to set up the max width to 100. And here you want to specify the actual size of the image. So for example, let's go with 50. Looks fine. If you want to adjust it differently, then by all means, go ahead and do so. Next, what I want to do is add my social media accounts. So I'll head over to my widgets and then I'll head over to social icons and then drag and drop it just beneath my logo. And over here, I want to style them a little further than what I have over here. As you might be able to see here, I have Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you want to, head over and add a little more, but I'll stick with that just for the simplicity of it. And then I'll head over to my shape. I don't like the rounded one, so I'll head over with circle. And then I'll head over with columns. Yeah, do it in auto. And then I'll go to my styles. And under my styles, I want to change the color from the official color to custom. And over here, you want to set the primary color to white or a different one. For that matter, it would be black. And then you want to set the secondary color to something different. So for that matter, it will be black, but black on black, as you can see, it doesn't see anything. So I head over with white, or you can do the opposite. You can go with white on the background and then black as it will be light. So it totally depends on your own preferences, how you want to do that. I know I keep on repeating it, but it really is down to your own preferences. That's really what it is. So next up, we want to adjust our padding on the icons over here. So let's head over to padding and then you want to adjust depending on what you want to. I'll head over with 0.3 and then spacing, you want to space them out a little so they won't be so squeezed together. Size also, you can can adjust the size depending on your preferences, but here I'll head over with the 19 pixels. And here you'll notice that the size affects the icons themselves, and the padding is what is actually around the icons over here. Now, as I said before, I want to put some excerpt about my website. So I head over to my widgets, and then I will drag and drop text editor underneath it. So over here, I want to change the lorem ipsum to something else, and I'll head over before that to my styles, and then I change the color of the text so it will be visible to white. And then over here, I'll head over to my typography. I'll head over here and change it to assistant, and then let's say 18 pixels. No, let's do 16. Yeah, looks good. And then line height, let's change that from pixels to ems, and then head over to 1.4. Yeah, looks good. So over here, you want to change the content, as I said before, to something else. So I'll change it over here, and then I'll be back in a second. So I did that with Gemini, or what is formerly known as Bard, and I just told him to write some short excerpt about how to build websites with WordPress. So now that I'm looking at it, it seems that it's on the wrong side of the screen. So let me change that really quick. So you want to click the container and just drag and drop it right to the side of the other containers. So if you have this problem where it can't define it, or it just starts to having this jumpings when you're trying to put it somewhere over here, as you can see, it's a little hard to go over here. As you can see, it's supposed to be or show this side. So what you want to do is head over to your left bottom hand corner on your screen, over here to the navigator, and then you want to drag it and then just push it right over here to the beginning of it. Next up, what we want to do, if you notice, our photo doesn't have any spacing. So what you want to do is head over to your container, and inside the container you want to go to advanced, and then head over to the padding, and on the padding you want to change it from pixels to ems, and then just unlink the values over here, and then I'll head over to 1, 2, 3 on the top, and then on the bottom you want to put something like 4. It really comes down to your own scene, but that's what I usually do. And on the right you want to put 1.5, and then on the left the same thing, 1.5. That's what I've seen, that it's a good spacing for this matter. And usually the containers that I put on websites that I build are as what you can see here, 3 on the top, 4 on the bottom, and left and right 1.5. As you can see here, it looks somewhat okay, but I want to bring the text over here a little bit closer to my logo. So I'll head over to my logo, and then I'll head over to advanced, and over here you want to go to margin, and then change the values here from pixels to ems. Unlink the values, and then on the bottom you want to put -1, or even I think 1.5, which should be good. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now you want to space down a little the social icons. So you want to choose the text editor, and you want to go to advanced, and then you want to go to, again, margin, change the values to ems, and then unlink the values, and then go over here. 1, 2, I think that should be good. Now that looks fine, but that is only one part of our footer. So next up, we want to drag over here a heading. So let's head over to our widgets, and then let's drag and drop a heading over here. And then over here, you want to do something like pages, or something else that comes to your mind. But then you want to go to style, and then change the color over here to white, and then change the typography. So you don't have to follow what I do here, but you generally get the idea that you want to change everything so it looks somewhat fine. So over here, because it's a footer, you want to set these things a little differently than what you usually do. Or the headings over here will be a different size than the normal headings on your website. So over here, I'll keep it as 20 pixels. And over here, I want to drag and drop the divider. And the divider should be style as solid, 100%. Great, we'll get to that. But first of all, let's go to style and then change it to white. Now I want to increase the weight of it. So let's do something like 2. Yeah, that looks great. Now the gap, I'll drag it down to 0. And here, let's go over back to our content, and then I'll change it from the percentage to pixels, because what I've noticed, even though it is more responsive than pixels, but I like it when it is exactly the way or the width that I need on different devices. So let's drag that over here, and then let's put it, yeah, over here under pages. And then you want to head over to your title, and then let's head over to advanced. Under the advanced, over here, let's go to margin, change the pixels to ems, and then let's unlink the values. And over here, you want to drag it so just beneath it, so it will look good. Let's do 0.5, and I think that looks somewhat fine. That's pretty much what you want to achieve over here. Again, that's my own preferences for that. Looks simple, looks clean, that looks good. So next up, what we want to do is head over to our widgets, and then drag and drop a list, as we can see here, icon list, and then drag and drop it just beneath the divider. You want to go to the list items. I usually trash or remove all the icons that I have here on my list, and I put the pages that I have on my website. So for example, it could be home, it can be about, us. Let's do our blog if we have on our website, and then let's do contact us. Just remove the icon before that, and then contact us, or even not about us, but about. Yeah, that should be good. The next thing that you want to do is head over to your style and then just space them out a little. But before, let's head over to our text, and under our text, let's change the color of it to white, and then let's change the typography so it will match everything. So let's head over to our assistant and let's do something like 16 pixels. That should be good, because remember, your sub items should be smaller than the main title of all this. So just keep that in mind. Now that you have it set to 16 pixels, let's head over back to our list and then let's space them out a little. So let's do something like, 5 pixels. That should be good. That's pretty much it for that. Now, if you want to use some posts, for example, let's duplicate our title. Let's do copy and then paste. And then the same thing for the divider, and then copy and paste. And over here, you want to change it to something like stay tuned. Whoops. Stay tuned. And here, let's do it as capital. And then here, what you want to do is head over to your widgets. And then over here, you want to use the loop grid. If you missed the full tutorial where I go step by step on the loop grid, it will be popping up right now on your screen. So if you're not familiar with it, it's a great tool that Elementor implemented in the past few updates. So go ahead, check that, and then come back to this video. For that matter, let's head over, drag and drop our loop grid over here, just underneath our divider. And then let's set up our loop. As usual, first of all, we have to create a template. So yes, I want to save the changes. And then over here, you want to set up everything. So it could be the image. First of all, will be the image resolution. So we'll change it to full. And then by the dynamic tags, if you've seen the video, you know you have to go to under post and then feature image. And then next up, we want to go to style and then head over to max width and then head over here. And then let's do something like 70%. So after you set up the image, I know it's a smaller container over here, but what you want to do is head over back to your widgets and then drag and drop a basic title just underneath it. And then over here in the title, you want to head over to your dynamic tags, and over here on the post, you want to change the post title, or you can go to your widgets and then over here, you want to drag post title. But for this matter, I'll keep it as it is. I will change it for now to post title, because I don't have any posts currently yet on this website. So I'll head over to my style and then I'll style it also to white, and then assistant under the typography as usually we have over here. Let's head over and change that to something like 18. And then over here, you want to change the container orientation or the direction of the container to row. And here you'll see that it splits here and it kind of looks not so beautiful, but bear with me, it will look good in a little while. Now, what we haven't connected here is under the post title, you want to connect here under the content, you want to link it to the post itself. So you choose the dynamic tags and then go to post URL under post. Also, you want to do the same thing for the image. So you want to choose the image, go to your content, and over here, you want to go under link. Now it's set to none. So you want to change it to custom URL, and then under custom URL, you want to change the dynamic tags to post URL. Now that it is done, you want to click the button save and back. Now that will bring you back over here. So as you can see here, we have our loop grid. Currently right now, we have 3 columns. So you want to change it to 1 column, and then all the posts here are going to be lined up from top to bottom. As you can see here, we have the titles and the images. Currently right now, I don't have any posts with images. So let me do that right now. I'll keep some posts and then you'll be able to see that all those posts will be populated. So I did some adjustments here. As you might be able to see, we have stay tuned and we have some post images. But if what you see here does not satisfy you, you can always go to edit template and then edit it differently. So as you can see here, the image is taking up a lot of space. So you want to just squeeze down the image by going to style and then just dragging here the image smaller. If that doesn't help, so what you can do is head over here and then go to your heading, and then over here, let's head over to advanced, let's head over to width, and over here under custom, and then let's head over here, set it to full 100%, and then under the image, do the same thing, advanced, head over to width, and over here, let's head over to custom, and over here, you can set the image to smaller or bigger depending on your own preferences, but this is only in specific scenarios. If this is what is coming up, just make sure if you do that, head over to the styles and then set the image width to 100%. So it will take the 100% of the width that it can. And one more thing that I've noticed here, you want to align the post title over here to the middle. Here currently you don't have it by vertically. So what you can do is head over to your container, and over here you want to align everything to the center by align items over here, and then it will align it perfectly to the middle. Now we have that set up, and I've already updated the post titles, you want to go to the titles, and over here, let's head over to our content, and under the content, you want to do what I said before, head over to dynamic tags, and over here, you want to choose the post title under the post. So over here, and then it will change it dynamically. As you can see here, Elementor loop grid, and it corresponds to the image itself. So hit update and then just save and back. So now that we have that out of the way, you can see here we have a lot of spacing here. So what you can do here is head over to each of the containers and set the width a little differently. So for that matter, let's head over here and then just put the content width, not to box, change it to full width, and then just play with the percentages. So for that matter, I can squeeze it down to something like 40, and then here I'll keep it as it is, because here we'll have our newsletter if you wish to do that. Now over here, again, as we did with our auto items, you want to copy and paste the title and then the divider. So again, copy and then paste, and then here you want to join our newsletter. And here you want to set everything as capital, or if you want to, you can go under style, head over here under typography, and then just change the transform, just do it as uppercase or capitalize. I usually do it as uppercase, but if you can do that manually, why not? Now, one thing that you might have noticed here, that the divider here is not the same width as our title. So we want to change that too. So let's head over to our divider and then to the width. And then over here, you want to drag it just a little bit over here. Same thing with our newsletter. You want to change that also. So it will come over here. And then under here, you want to put something just so it will encourage your customers to join your newsletter. So head over to your text editor, just drag and drop it just beneath the divider. And if you don't want to stylize everything from scratch, what you want to do is head over to this excerpt, just copy and then paste style. And then it will paste the styles as what you can see here, whether it's the font or spacing and so forth. I'll change it right now. And the same thing I did here, I just copied it, or I did it with Gemini, as you can see here with Bard. You can use ChatGPT or whatever AI tool that you wish to. And as you can see here, it is ready. Now, the next thing that we have to tackle is our form. So head over to your widgets and then head over to your form. If you don't find it immediately, it usually is on the second or on the third or on the fourth, depending on your width of the sidebar. But you can always search here the widget form, and then it will pop up right over here. So drag and drop it just beneath it. And then I usually just cancel all of the fields except email, as usually it is an email form. So one thing that I usually find myself not forgetting, but sometimes I've seen websites where they don't have it and you have just a new form, and that is the default of Elementor. And what you want to change here, that you will know what the lead or the customer signed himself for, whether it's contact us as some specific service or a newsletter. So you want to name your forms. It is a very good practice to do that. So head over form name, just change it. In this case, it will be newsletter. And then you want to change here the email under content and then advanced. Make sure the ID here is also set to email. It will correspond to the field that your customer will fill in. Now, one more thing that you want to do is head over and make sure that the action after submit are exactly what you want to. So for that matter, I usually keep on the collect submission, the email, and then we have the redirect if we want to redirect our customers to something else or pop up. But usually when it is newsletter, you want to keep it as simple as it is. That's what I usually do. So let's change our form name to newsletter. And then under the email, we have it as it is, set it up. And next up, I usually hide the label so it will be clean. And in here, we have our email and then our button. So under the button, you want to head over here and then change it if you want to. So here you want to send or just sign up. And then here you want to change the colors, what I usually would do. So head over to your styles, and then over here, you want to go to fields and then change the field typography also to assistant. I usually keep it as simple as I can. And then over here, you want to change here to something like 18. Let's do 16. Yeah, that should be good. And then over here, the text color, that should be black. And then the background color doesn't have to be white, but you can change it to something else. But usually you want to keep it simple as what it is. Now, the button, you want to change the bottom color when it's hover and the active. So you want to head over to buttons. And then over here, you want to head over to typography, change that to assistant. And then again, to here, something like 18. And then here, you want to change the background color to something like, let's do white. And then the text color would be black. So again, you can see here that it's very, very simple. If you want to, you can put them on a one line. So what you want to do, head over to your content, and then under form fields, you want to head over to your email and then change the column width to something like, let's do 60. Yeah, that should be good. And then let's head over to our buttons, and the same thing will apply over here. You want to change the column width to, as if we did on our form fields, to 60. You want to change here to 40, so it will align itself just over here. And when we close our sidebar, we have here a beginning or something that we can work with, some sort of a footer that you can play with, just a beginning of something. As you can see here, we have our logo, we have a little excerpt about our website, we have our social content or social media links that we can link our social media to, we have our pages, we have our blog, and we have our join our newsletter. Obviously you can change it here, you can do it totally completely different than what I did here, but just bear in mind that's what I would usually do. Over here you have the headings for each of these sections, and then we have the logo with a little excerpt and the social media, so your clients will be able to reach you on different channels if they want to, or follow you, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or what have you. And as you can see here, each one of these are linked, and with these ones you can also link them if you head over and then open that up. And then what you want to do is head over to the list item and then change the links right over here under each one of these items, go to dynamic tags, and then use the internal URL. Now the reason for it is that sometimes we have pages, posts, and we want to optimize them for SEO, and sometimes we want to put our keywords in our site URL or inside the post URL or their page URL, and then that will help you with SEO. But what happens is that the page URL or the post URL changes. That means if you put that manually over here, it will break, and that way you will have your visitors reach the 404 page on your website, and you don't want that, and that's bad for your SEO. So that's what I usually do. I think it's a good practice, but you can tell me what you think about it down in the comment section of this video. I'll be really happy to hear from you about that. So I would recommend you to go to dynamic tags and then use the internal URL. That way it will take it dynamically and we'll figure out what the URL changed to. So internal URL, and then over here you'll want to head over and click the internal URL, and then under the settings, under the type, you want to choose the content, and then over here under search and select, you want to search for the page that you have or the page that you want to connect the list item to. Head over, do that. That's what I usually do, and it's great. It works perfectly. And then over here you notice that something here doesn't align quite. So what I want to do is head over to my logo over here, and then I'll head over to advanced, and over here I want to make it less the spacing that I have here on the top. So let's put something like 1.5, and then if you want to see how that looks, just put that over here. It looks somewhat fine, but something here doesn't align quite right. So let's open that up again. Let's head over to our loop grid, and then over here let's go to style, and then I want to remove the gap between each of these rows to something like, yeah, let's do 1 pixel. And then over here I think that should look better. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you here on the basic footer that we have created just right now. I'll head over and add here another section for this footer, and then over here you want to set the content width from box to full width. Let's put it as 100, and then change again the style to classic to black. And then over here you want to head over to your widgets, and then here you want to set the icon list over here, and then put all the layout here to inline, and then just remove one of them, remove one of the icons, or both of them for that matter. And then you want to head over to style, and then just center that, and then change the text color to white, and then head over to the typography. Again, let's do all of that once more, and then over here, and then let's do that for 16 pixels. The reason that I've put those icon lists over here is you'll be able to use them for all the rights reserved or build with or powered by. So you'll be able to link if you're building websites, or if you're a site owner, you want to note here that all rights reserved and all the styles, all the building blocks of your website are reserved only to you by a copyright. So if we're going completely simple, we want to remove one of these items and head over to one of these items, and then write just all rights reserved. And then for the copy sign, what you want to do is head over, depending on your keyboard, click shift and then click the 7, and it will put you the and sign over here, and then you want to write copy. That will put the copy sign right over here, all rights reserved. And then before the copy, you want to put your website name. So for that matter, it would be easy WP for you. So as you can see here, all rights reserved to EasyWP for you. So this is the name of the channel. So as I've promised you, I wanted to show you how you can also import one of the pre-made templates by Elementor. But before that, one really important thing that I wanted to show you here is that for SEO purposes and for your website markup on the HTML part of the website, to note here that you want to head over to your container, and here under the container, you want to head over to additional options, and then under the HTML tag, you want to set it to footer. So that way, the website crawlers, Google, everybody would know that this is the footer of your website. Now, once you're done with it, obviously, before you save everything, I mean, you can save all what you want to, but one quick note here, make your footer and all your website responsive. So if you want to do that, head over to responsive mode right in the left bottom hand corner of your screen, and then choose the responsive mode. The top bar will pop up with the desktop view, the tablet portrait, and then the mobile portrait. So head over, change that to your own preferences, and then you'll be good to go with your Elementor footer. Now, I've promised you that I'll show you how you can import the Elementor Pro templates, so I'll show you that right now. So first of all, you want to go and head over to the templates over here, but just before that, head over and click publish. Now for the display conditions, you want to display it on all your websites, so include an entire site and then save and close. That is ready to go. Now, next thing is, as I promised you, the Elementor templates for the footer. So as I've shown you before, just head over and click the template icon over here, this little tab icon over here in the middle, or if you have more icons over here, depending on how many plugins you have on your website, just click that and then you'll be greeted with one of those. For the simplicity of the matter, I'll head over with another black one, and you can head over and insert it or generate with variations AI depending on your own preferences, but I'll head over and insert it, and it will be greeted with another pop-up. Apply the settings of this block too. This will override the design, layout, and other settings of the footer you're working on. So what I usually recommend you to do with none of the templates that are generated with Elementor or any other templates, you don't want to apply the settings because sometimes it will break things on your website. So a good advice for me to you is hit the don't apply, and then it will generate and put everything simple as it is. As you can see here right now, it is white, but you can completely change it to your own preferences. Just head over to the container, and then over here, head over to style, and then background classic as we did before, and then change it to black. And you can see here that it is implemented. And as you can see here, we have almost the same what I had over here, but here we have a little more information. We have the logo, we have some extra as we did here. Visit us. It is the place where you want to visit the location of this business, and opening hours, and then join the club as we can see right over here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I really hope this tutorial helped you, and I really hope this tutorial made it a little more simple for you to build your own Elementor footer on your website. And if that video helped you, I'd be really glad to if you leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any videos that I post on this channel. And as usual, I'll be seeing you in the next one.